Hey Spuddies, Potato Big Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as the Incan Empire, where our goal is to crush the world. Now, in the previous episode, we had finished crushing America, and next up, we're going to be hitting Ethiopia. Ethiopia has a relatively large empire, and I reckon by the time I've conquered Ethiopia, I should be basically unstoppable. I think I'm on the road to unstoppability right now, but I don't know if I would call myself unstoppable yet. Let's rebase our fighter in St. Louis, and our main objective will be to push north and through Ankober and Gondar, because this is where we're going to have the greatest loyalty pressure from around the cities of like St. Louis, Los Angeles, Madrid. All of these high pop cities will provide loyalty in the area that will protect us from any potential city flipping. Now, we also have a pretty important task across our empire of completely retooling. You can see here when I spam the hide pin, show pin button, it kind of indicates where things are going in my empire, which should give you a good idea of our development plans in the long term. I'm quite happy with the way things are unfolding in my empire. So taking a look at Boston, we are going to want a couple of hill things in and around here. And I do also love the idea of building a preserve in this little mountain area, because that'll make these mountains really nice. The Incas and the preserve is a fun combination. All right, we got a tank over here. Let's go ahead and absorb this tank. We made a tank army, excellent. And we have our very first bomber. I'm tempted to send this bomber down towards Sheffield so we could get rid of the English Empire. Part of the problem that we've got going on in here is we have this occupation grievances with the city founder. So I reckon this would make my loyalty situation a lot easier to deal with. And it also gives this airplane a chance to level up if I do pop down here and just slowly whittle away Liverpool with a bomber. It does mean that technically my first bomber will reach the front line later than I would otherwise like, but it is fine. Now, where are geothermal plants unlocked? I've already got geothermal plants, so let's go ahead and start improving these geotherms online. This will give me a little bit of electricity across my empire, which is nice. Looks like Neapolis just flipped, and I'm hoping that it will flip towards me. Conquest by population. We've got an aid request with Abraham Lincoln. We don't care about that. Cordoba has built a builder, and I do think some Nazca lines. I do think surrounding these is the right play. Go ahead and improve that. Placing those lumber mills. A Nazca line right there. The question is, I think we do another Nazca line here because it boosts 2 more tiles up into absurdity. Okay, Cordoba has finished another builder. All of its tiles are basically improved, so I reckon we can now go through and actually start repairing and rebuilding these cities so they can join the war effort. I don't know if I need much more science, so I don't know if Plymouth really needs to make a scientist. I wouldn't mind getting an extra little bit of gold here. And this is a river tile, so we could make good advantage of that. So let's pop that down there and we'll delete that tile. And this is just the natural way that we progress an empire. We slowly build up all of the infrastructure over a period of time. Let's walk this pike and shot forward, and then we hit the city with the bomber, and then we step back to keep the pike and shot safe. It's just going to be a process like that we're going to be doing. Let's get our artillery onto the front line. We have 4 fully stacked artillery armies. Let's declare war on Ethiopia. This will be a golden age war, which will give us a 75% reduction in the grievances that we generate from the war with him. And the first thing we do in this war is break this encampment and hope against hope that we can keep these safe. I'm going to deploy my fighter on this tile. That's a jet fighter. That means I need to convert my cash into anti-air guns. These will provide anti-air strength, and I'll need to sprinkle these around to protect these guys. In the meantime, I will put sacrificial field cannons on the front line. Let's have a little bit of a search for the railroad. You can see the railroad network is very extensive, but it doesn't quite reach all of the front line over here. So I'm going to keep extending it so that it does. We want these mobile SAM units, and we want this rocket artillery. So I'm going to have to start producing. Steal this builder. There's a bomber here as well. Okay, this is a little bit worrisome. I'm going to buy a couple more Nihang armies to hold up the front line. I don't have a use for this settler, so I'm just going to delete it. Turn on this terrace farm here. We'll chop this, and then we will put lumber mills down here in Jalonis. Grab us a trader. Let's see what this counterattack looks like. I'm expecting to lose an artillery. I didn't realize that he had jet fighters. Oh, and he has GDRs. It's concerning. My fighter took damage from their jet fighter. We do have the research lab now. Excellent. So I'm going to rebase you into St. Louis to heal. I'm going to move this anti-air gun to the front, and we're going to focus on killing enemy units. Okay, we got an archaeologist in Sheffield. Oh wow, we're at war with the Cre as well. I wasn't expecting the alliance. Okay, we can trade with Armagh now, and that's worth 10 gold per turn. Move this trader to Cusco. Liverpool is still a target we need to take out. Culture, we're basically finished the culture tree. Let's grab space race and globalization. And then I think AT crew armies with anti-air guns are the follow-up unit that are going to help my empire out the most. So anti-air gun, AT crew. These are going to be the things that we use to hold our front line. Okay, we got plenty of aluminum, plenty of coal, and plenty of oil to sell, as well as some uranium. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of cash injection so we can buy more of those things that we need to buy. All right, perfect. Plymouth is now coming online. We have a decent faith income as well, which I'm pretty excited about. We got the factory in Madrid. Let's do AT crew and anti-air machine gun. And we will start trading with Armagh because that's worth 12 gold per turn, which will help our economy out. Nice little terrace farm in here, and then a nice terrace farm there. I definitely want to put a preserve right here, so let's pop that down. We're in the process of repairing the encampment. Let's repair the outer defenses. I'll take a fill-up artifact, and otherwise I don't care what artifacts I get. I think anything that's adjacent to an oasis needs to be turned into a Nazca line because it makes the oases a lot better. And then now with all of these spare builders, I'm going to send them back east to improve the desert with the Nazca lines because I feel like they make a really big difference. The war is going to grind to a crawl now that we're fighting an opponent with an air army. And we're also going to be seeing quite a lot of warfare up here in the northeast. It'll just take a while to filter through and deal with all this. The fact that we're at war with the Cre is pretty devastating actually. We did get the nuclear power plant in Newcastle upon Tyne. Let's build that military academy so we can produce armies. You did produce this tank, and this tank needs to get over here to become something. This aircraft needs to heal. This is the tank you need to combine with. I've lost a few builders throughout my empire, and we're going to lose a lot of infrastructure here from this war, but that's okay. We built a gigantic, resilient empire who should be able to take a punch like this. Okay, a lot more flooding has happened in here, which I don't love, nor do I care that much about, because what we need are AT crews and anti-air guns to staff the front line of this giga war. I really badly need jet bombers and jet fighters. I'm going to start researching jet bombers and jet fighters. This is going to be a difficult war, and that's something I need to be ready for, that this war will not be over quick, nor will it be easy. In terms of bombardment, I do think this is an easy counter kill. I think we need to take grape shot on these artillery where appropriate, because that's going to give us +7 against this, which is kind of huge. These giant death robots are terrifying. And the only thing I kind of have to stem the flow of the giant death robot right now is the knee hangs. But every knee hang will buy me a turn. We do have more bombers we can redeploy to the front. I'm going to deploy one to Madrid. We have another under construction in the capital. Now, the unfortunate thing is we're only just now actually spinning up the war economy. So it will take a while. I'm going to redeploy this guy to... probably to Dire Dawa to act as an intel gatherer. We'll put a little tunnel over here so we can get around the map easier and see what happens in the enemy's counterattacks. I'm a little bit worried about these counterattacks. I don't think they will be completely devastating, but I don't think I will get away scot-free either. Particularly not if I'm at war with too many people at once. The Scythia war, I'm not too worried about considering only Gelonus is on that front line. The Cre war is the one that scares me because there's GDRs involved. So it would be nice if I could get the Cre out in a few turns. All right, we're starting to see attacks. And the big thing is we need to take out these rocket arties if we can, because they're the ones that can actually threaten cities. I'm going to take evasive maneuvers because that leads to combat bonus against land units. It does mean I don't get to bomb this turn. I will start bombing the enemy units where we can without retaliation. And we'll see if we can take out this district as well. Keep generating experience. Go ahead and drop me that encampment. It'll take 14 turns, but I think it is worth it. Repair those. Play it safe. Get me this stable. AT crew and anti-air guns. We need a constant supply of troops to hold the front line. That's why I'm building the AT crews, if you're wondering. I can put Nazca lines inside Nazca itself, actually. All right, let's put a terrace farm there. You jump up here to pillage, or not to pillage, to build that. There is a downside to railroads, is that your enemies can use them, which is moderately annoying. Even our builders are acting as distractions for our opponents now. I'm going to pull my tanks back to kill the rocket artillery, and the goal is to hit and then retreat. Or in this case, to hit and kill as a reasonable trade. Now, you'll likely die to the counterattacks, but that's fine. So he's got 3 giant death robots flowing through. Encampment is getting hit by jet fighters. A little scary. Let's drop this tank back to Zaragoza for healing. Stay blasting. All right, field cannon won a battle. Get rid of those where we can. You step out, you get that kill, and then you retreat back to a safe place. Go ahead and put railroad here so that they can move around a little easier. Chip away at those giant death robots. Bomb this unit and then shoot him. I have this bomber here. And the giant death robots are super weak to bombardment from the air. which I'm very happy about. My fighter over here is almost ready. I'm thinking of deploying him over the encampment, which will give me vision of this front line. And also, if they try to attack things in this area, my fighter will be able to provide air support. Okay, nice. We got the aquarium in Wanuku. Let's start with the production of some machine guns. I think I would like to change my government here. So military organization is fantastic, but I think I do have to pull it out right now, because what I need is military first, production towards units. Similarly, levée en masse is amazing, but propaganda to accumulate less war weariness is going to be super important here. When you're fighting this many wars, keeping war weariness low it becomes important. I got the zoo in here. I'm going to drop an encampment right in their face, and it'll take a few turns to build, but eventually our defenses will be better. We got the airport in Philadelphia. Let's repair the outer walls and start building more bombers and fighters. So the general strategy here is to out-eco our opponents, to carefully dodge every attack they launch, to keep laying down railroad to increase the mobility of our armies. We've almost defeated this encampment, which is a big deal. And we're going to go ahead and do a listening post inside the Cre so that we get +3 combat strength against them. And I'm continuing to build things like ski resorts and all that sort of jazz. Let's see what the counterattack looks like. Field cannon was destroyed by a jet, but the anti-air is firing at least. The anti-air might not do much on its own, but in conjunction, let's take out this encampment. Now, I'm going to move this pike and shot over here to be turned into a pike and shot army inside the city. We're going to bomb you and then use the bomber to finish it. 2 more turns until we get another bomber in the capital. We're slowly chipping away at the units in and around here. This city is now officially under siege, so I definitely need a bomber to help out. But these guys do not have very good air defense, which is the main weakness of the giant death robot, is its lack of air defense. Valencia has a fully built encampment, so I'm going to add a tank army and a supply convoy. Cordoba built a stable. Let's repair the outer defenses and begin construction of an armory. Washington is fully built, doesn't have an aerodrome though. I wouldn't mind repairing the neighborhood before I start production. I think it would be good to get a helicopter army on the field. And I'm going to build a ski resort right there, keep those amenities flowing. Now you should be able to kill this and then use the railroads to retreat to a safe place to heal. So that's another giant death robot killed. Excellent. And our goal right now is to dismantle our opponent's armies while we build up our air force and our nuclear arsenal. Once we have a nuclear arsenal, I don't think there's anyone who can stop us. It's all about careful maneuvering, maintaining our economic development, and continuing to build towards the final incarnation of our empire. Let's see what they do in counterattack. We lost a Nihang. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of giant death robots. It's a concerning amount of giant death robots. However, we do now have Space Race. This terrible beast actually has reasonable anti-air, so I'm going to take evasive maneuvers on this bomber. Problem is they have an anti-air like works together. So if you have like adjacent units providing it, it gets scary. Make sure we're killing all their support units. I'm going to take a turn to heal on this bomber. Do have a bomber in the capital now, so this GDR can be hit, and we are about to finish the Manhattan project, which is huge. Drop an encampment in Portsmouth as well to start the military production. Newcastle upon Tyne has finished its construction of an encampment, so let's get a helicopter army with a supply convoy in support. I'm going to upgrade one of my field cannons to a machine gun to give all my cities better combat strength. My railroad's gotten a little bit messy, but it is now ultimately linking up almost the entirety of my empire. Cities like Toledo and Zaragoza still aren't properly linked, but they're essentially linked. It would be kind of nice if there was like a railroad map mode that activated when you had a military engineer selected. Russia has denounced me, and a city-state just declared war on me, and they're using their jet fighters to kill my military engineers, which is annoying. These giant death robots are terrifying. How does my fighter do? Not terribly, but not great either. Okay, we've got 2 anti-air guns now, which means either of these 2 guys are attacked, or the 2 adjacent tiles will be very heavily covered by their defense. Let's focus fire with our artillery onto the right side Infernal Cyclops to bring his health down. I could attack with this. I don't think I want to. I could hit with this bomber, but then I would be missing out on being able to upgrade him to a jet bomber next turn. So I want to look for a slightly easier target that doesn't have a retaliation attached. I don't like that Lahore is my ally. This encampment here looks like a pretty safe attack. It doesn't have any counter attack, so it's just a way for us to farm experience. This giant death robot right here is very vulnerable. It's out on the own, and he has insufficient uranium, which is perfect. So let's take full advantage of that. And I think I can get this kill. Well, not quite. I can get it with this tank and then retreat the tank to a safe place. Kill this giant death robot. Excellent. Another GDR falls. I have more and more artillery rolling off the production line. They do take a while to produce, but when they get there, they are powerful. The Manhattan project is completed. I think we will start building nuclear devices in a few of our cities. Plymouth got its commercial hub. Let's grab the market and the library. Might seem a little bit unhinged to be producing economy, but you should always be expanding the size of your economy in cities so that they can contribute to the war effort later. Got an AT crew over here. Move it to the front line. Let's faith purchase ourselves a Nihang. Bring another Nihang forward. I'm producing units on every front that I possibly can. I am losing a lot of trash units, but I am also killing a lot of units. Eruption in Plymouth sucks. Okay, the jet bomber is going to be a huge technological advancement for us. So I think I will upgrade to jet bombers because that basically means we can one-shot giant death robots. Shoot you. Very much so. We need to focus on the killing of the units in front of us. Oh, let's get this kill. Boom. Let's move all of these pike and shots into the same place, and we will combine them together into an army because that makes them at least a reasonable unit. Let's work on jet fighters next. Carl Sagan, I can yoink. That's pretty useful. We also got the preserve in Krakow. I don't know if building the Grove makes sense in here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's shoot with our cities that now have machine gun combat strength, so we're gonna take out some of these units. Taking a look at the combat strength we're up against on the Cre side of things, they're down to 600 military power because we killed a lot of their GDRs. We do have to worry about their airplanes, but if I can get a unit onto this like a tank or something to pillage it, shouldn't be worrisome. Yeah, I need the gold. Let's see what we can trade for. Can't buy any luxuries. Can I sell any strategics? Simon Bolivar will give me a little bit of cash so I can pop in here and upgrade you to a jet bomber. We got a AT crew finished. We can slowly start moving that up. And the goal of the AT crew is to be frontline fodder. That's his quote-unquote job, is to hold the line. That's what fodder means in the context of a strategy game. It's a unit like chaff that you put out in front of your important units. And fodder is actually an incredibly important type of unit to have because they're units that are weaker than your important units, which means they're more likely to be targeted. And because they're more likely to be targeted, they're the ones you lose. And you don't lose the units you actually care about. Okay, you have a promotion. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade you to a jet bomber. I'll move this artillery up here so we can start blasting these guys away. Look, looks like someone or something killed Scythia. My pike and shots, so some of my units are being targeted by these jet fighters, which is why we need so many anti-air guns. We need to coat our front line in anti-air to protect from the potential of a jet bomber or from a jet fighter. Now this terrible beast has insufficient uranium, which means he's a very easy target for our jet bomber. Perfect. We need to fortify our fodder in a line to support. Artillery fire needs to be concentrated for effect. I am going to concentrate fire on the giant death robots. You have a promotion. I'm going to take grape shot to give you a +7 combat strength against units. Increases the probability that they will survive a single attack at the cost of a single turn of actions. And we're going to begin building up forces over here in the west near Valencia so that we can approach Kawatus. A lot of our buildings are under siege, so go ahead and blast you and then blast you. Okay, railroads. Go there, place a railroad. Go there, place a railroad. Jet bomber active here. Now we can start hitting his cities, but I think I would rather clear out his army. If I can get a military superiority from killing his army, that will lay the ground for a superiority in the actual war effort. I'm going to go ahead and take the evasive maneuvers. I have a spy in here. Your job is to do a listening post. Let's get a little terrace farm in there. Elizabeth wants peace. I reject it. Her cities are flipping. So this AT crew that was here just got bombed by jet fighters. I think 3 jet fighters attacked him, which is why we need the AT guns. +1 era score. Globalization. I wouldn't mind plugging in e-commerce, but I don't think any of these really help me. I mean, strategic air force would be useful. I'm going to drop logistics in exchange for strategic air force so that we can build air units faster. I will keep the city of Kamienka Dnipro. Don't even know how to pronounce that city's name. And it will make me a couple builders to improve itself. I will go through and tell the city what it needs to build across all of these tiles. Excellent. We are in a golden age. Now we could take automaton warfare and get a free giant death robot, or get Sky and Stars for a larger air force that levels up faster. I do think a giant death robot would be a bit of a game changer here, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to work on social media and then corporate libertarianism. Recruit a great writer, even though I don't need it. We cannot put this giant death robot on the front line while there's jet aircraft floating about because his anti-air strength is far too low. I do, however, now finally have a great general. I got one of the last great generals in the game. This guy, Ahmad Shah Massoud, and he applies his bonuses to information era units, which is everything in this category. So I actually don't get any benefit from him yet. I have 11 envoys. It would be really nice to get control of Zanzibar. But if I'm going to do that, I should plug in the thing that gives me double envoys. My jet bomber is ready to level up. I'm going to take close air support. Because here's the thing. If I can kill all the enemy units, taking on cities becomes a breeze. But if the enemy still has a military presence on the ground, there's no point in being better at fighting cities. Because it's fundamentally not the thing that's challenging my ability to kill them. Okay, there's a giant death robot here. It's a risky attack, but we did just kill another giant death robot, which is excellent. Let's begin the bombardment of Dire Dawa and the encampment over here. This is an incredibly stale front line, but it should break open in the near future. We just lost a artillery over here for the first time, which is fine considering how long we went without losing an artillery. How many free attacks we got essentially. Pull back the supply convoy to heal. This AT crew took damage. I'm going to unlink him, pull him back to a safe place, and then take his spot with a new unit. Use the jet bomber to take out this giant death robot. He's now dead. We're going to keep the city of Neapolis. Excellent. It's definitely a preserved city. Place that right there. And then a couple of the old lumber mills wouldn't be bad. All right, excellent. We have another jet bomber that we can use over here to clean up this giant death robot. So we've brought the Cre's army down to his knees. Let's work on a fighter. We definitely want more jet fighters. We have an encampment finished here in Radom. Let's work on the stable, the military academy, and the armory. We got the armory over here in Cordoba. Let's get the military academy. Okay, I'm going to redeploy this jet bomber to Portsmouth so I can start bombing Kabacatus. I think we need to redirect towards the Cre while keeping just a token army over here to keep Ethiopia sort of at bay while we deal with the Cre as a major threat. Yeah, we've definitely managed to stall Menelik's culture victory by declaring war on him. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to redeploy this jet bomber to Leeds. I've got 4 jet bombers now on the Cre front line, and that should mean that significant progress will be made there. I had to play quite slowly for the last little while. Like, the episode so far has taken an hour of gameplay time just to get to this turn, and if you consider that was 13 turns ago, right? It took an hour to play 13 turns. I definitely feel like we need to kill this giant death robot. I need to pull you back. If you die, you don't serve your purpose as frontline chaff. I'm going to pull back this balloon. -1 movement is pretty rough for getting my units around my empire, but this block of AA here and chaff units should buy me time. Okay. I definitely feel like we should pick up rocketry and the rocket artillery. The mobile SAM in particular would be really useful now. Keep on producing some machine guns. Another anti-air gun and another AT crew is in order. Now, Kabacatus is actually flipping to me amazingly with loyalty, but I'm going to bomb it anyway. -62 defenses for the first attack, -49 defenses for the second attack. There is a little bit of RNG when it comes to attacks. -49 for the third attack, -46 for the fourth attack. But the city is now in a significantly worse position than it was, and I've got tanks on standby ready to conquer it. So I feel like this is the first time in the game that I have a handle on a war where I'm outmatched. I'm very clearly outmatched by my opponents in production capacity, in size of their armies, in size of their empires, but I have a handle on it. So we can build a spaceport. I would like to reveal the Earth map. We got an anti-air gun in here. That's going to be an important part of this sort of block of troops that I'm building. Start bombing Kabacatus again. I'm hopeful that we can conquer Kabacatus this turn, although you never know. Kabacatus is now shredded. Let's bring a tank in to conquer it. Boom. Kicks all their jet bombers out of that, or jet fighters out of that city, and we now own it. Now, they should actually have a really easy time counterattacking, but that's why we're repairing outer defenses here. Commercial hub finished in Plymouth. Let's go ahead and get that market at long last. Okay, this city could definitely use more workable tiles. The question is, which city do I take them off? I guess I will take this. Also, I like that there's just like 3 encampments here. It just kind of worked out that 3 different empires built encampments along here because it's a really nice place for encampments. So I'll take that tile. You do need that oil tile, I think. Gelinus can take these 3, so it's a little bit more rounder. Granary watermill to develop that city. We got an anti-air gun in Sheffield. Okay, let's take close air support on this jet bomber. You're going to go ahead and take for +7 combat strength when you're flanked. You're going to step up here as a defender. So now we've got a block of 3 AA guns. So if any of these 3 AA guns are attacked, all 3 will participate in the combat and counterattack basically. So it essentially makes this harder to penetrate. You can see here, provides defense from air attacks up to 1 hex away. So effectively, each of these defends 7 tiles, and there's a lot of overlap. So if I were to map this for you as a map of their effectiveness, it would look a little bit something like this. See here, I've got an anti-aircraft cannon on this tile, and this tile, which means these 3 tiles are covered by 3 anti-air cannons. This tile has 2 adjacent anti-air cannons, so it's a strength of 2, which all 3 of these do, and then these outer tiles are covered on a 1x basis. If I were to put another anti-air cannon on this tile, this would become a 3, these 2 would become a 4, and the sort of network of anti-air would expand. And so that's kind of how it works, is they all support each other adjacently. Now what you really want is the mobile SAM, because this protects you from nuclear attacks. And that's actually quite important in the late game, which is why the thermonuclear bomb becomes important, because that has a radius of 2, which means it's possible to nuke near someone and still hit them without them having a chance to defend. We've got the stable in Radom. Let's work on the armory. Again, constantly trying to upgrade our encampment capabilities. Now, something we have to watch out for here. It looks like this is going to be a totally fine attack, right? But if I actually attack this, we need to be careful about the jet bomber in the city. They can mess up your plans, right? So I can kill this giant death robot, no problem. But if I take this jet bomber and I actually attack the city, those jet fighters can cause you serious problems. I forget what they have to be set on to do that, but there's another jet fighter of our own now. Now, I think I'm going to give Zaragoza 2 more tiles. I'm going to take this tile, this tile. Madrid has like an insane number of tiles, so I'm just going to take a couple off it to give Zaragoza a little bit more production and growth power. Nice, we got another jet fighter over here on this front line. I'm going to go ahead and deploy this over you. And I don't want to build any more aircraft related stuff. Philadelphia, what could you make use of? Honestly, part of your problem is your growth is quite weak, so there is something to be said for building you a food market. You have extra tiles you could work, so I'll get that food market really quick, try to keep my economy growing. I am going to go ahead and take out this giant death robot. Constantly just playing whack-a-mole with giant death robots is kind of a fun endeavor. We're also 3 turns away from get the Estadio, which will give us a huge amenity boost across our empire, and we are looking forward to that. There's social media, and we got another level of flooding, I believe, this turn. Yep, the world has begun to flood even worse than it was, which kind of sucks. We are going to go ahead and grab a great artist and a great musician. So now we're very slowly losing aluminum. I'm going to rebase this jet fighter to Cavacatus. They have relatively speaking, compared to a jet bomber, they have a lower range, and so they need to be stationed a little bit closer to the front line. Let's focus on Mistawasis. City is falling. Let's grab I guess I'll grab the war department. Grab a few more tiles for this poor city. Always plan your cities out the second you conquer them, so that if you ever find yourself with spare builder charges in the area, you can be ready to respond to that. Okay, jet bomber activated again. Ooh, he's got a little bit better. It looks like they got the bolstered air defense on the giant death robots now. Although this one is kind of out on its own in a vulnerable spot, so we will go ahead and hit him. God, someone should keep track of the number of giant death robots I've killed now. All right, jet bomber will take out this giant death robot. He'll take a couple of hits there from their anti-air attack, but that should be fine. Then my jet fighter will finish off this one as well. I'm up to nearly 3,000 military power at this point. Armory in Radom is completed. Let's get the military engineer. We have a jet bomber here. We could go for box formation or evasive maneuvers. I think I will take evasive maneuvers. I like having promoted bombers, especially if I know a game is going to go long. This game is definitely going to go long because I need to find Tamar, and she is going to be getting nuked. Okay, Mistwasis is bombed. Can we get a major victory? We can. Boom. Another city has fallen. We will keep it. Immediately begin the repairing of the defenses. We're finally dismantling the Cre Empire. All right, let's take on this city next. I think the war with the Cre can mostly be won with a combination of tanks and bombers. So I'm going to start moving my newly created units with their AA capabilities back. I'm going to start backfilling to the front line with Ethiopia, where I think I can start to grind him down with a military. I think that's a reasonable set of moves to make. Ooh, the knee hang was hit here, but he heals so quickly thanks to all the bonuses. Now there's Estadio de Maracana. That's going to give me 2 amenities across my entire empire, which is bringing me up to neutral. We also got guidance systems for rocket artillery and mobile SAMs. Fantastic stuff. So a lot of our money is going to be turned to that. We definitely need to get rid of this GDR. I think I can do it with my jet fighter. Perfect. Let's keep this knee hang healing. Okay, in terms of research, I don't think I really need nuclear fusion bombs right now. I think we can live with what we have. So let's focus on getting our unit upgrades. In particular, composites, modern AT and modern armor would be really helpful here. Let's get the armory in Portsmouth. I have a jet fighter in the area that I can use to get rid of this GDR. And I can pop my GDR into the city of Cavacatus and shoot him to hopefully get rid of him. And in fact, he is now dead. Perfect. That's another giant death robot we've killed. And we're going to begin the conquest of this city. It's a very heavily defended city, but we can do it. Jet bombers have amazing range. Like I'm attacking it all the way from over here. The city is not able to defend itself very effectively. The Estadio de Maracana is finished. I will build a rocket arty. I did get a helicopter, and it's going to have a anti-air gun attached to it to make it safe. And our aluminum is now increasing. start building another rocket arty, and we'll build a bank in Plymouth because we need that gold. We have the monument in Kabakatus. This place does have an airfield, but I can't really afford to build many more jet units. I think I could probably afford another jet bomber, so I will go ahead and do it. Jet bombers are extremely effective at warfare. And we will continue to trade with Armagh. It's probably about time I started to build some trade routes too. Definitely been slacking on that front. Let's take a moment to repair this jet bomber. And we do have some nonsense flowing in here. It looks like England is about to die from loyalty, which is nice because then I don't have to suffer the negative grievances. Perfect. We got venture politics, which is going to be a nice advancement of our military. Now we are going to lose the 50% production towards units here, which sucks. We will get to keep the +5 combat strength, which is important. Let's see. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's an extra card slot. I am having a hard time justifying switching right now. A 50% production boost towards the unit is amazing. I think though being able to accumulate more resources would give me access to more aluminum, and that would open up a lot of opportunities for me. So I'm going to clear out my government so we can start from scratch. Colonial taxes is amazing because we need the money. So we're going to plug in colonial taxes. Now, in terms of economic policies, there's a few really good ones here. One of the best ones is either liberalism, sports media, or if we want to keep making builders and improving our territory, public works is always great because of the +2 build charges. It makes builders incredibly effective. You could argue there are other things in here that would be more useful, but I think public works allows me to retool my empire and actually turn it into a war machine. I do think levée en masse is really important now for my gold. I think propaganda to accumulate less war weariness is important. I think Republican legacy, just because of the sheer number of amenities it provides, is insanely important. Resource management is really important for me to make sure that I have enough aluminum for my army. I do think strategic air force, lightning warfare, and military first are all great ways to maintain the military production bonuses that I had before. Then otherwise, containment is a fantastic card in this, what I would consider to be a flex slot, which can be replaced as soon as we have the war department. And my units are a little bit weaker, but it does mean that we can take over Cahokia with just 4 amenities. Or 4 envoys rather, and then boom, take the suzerainty of Cahokia, who's all the way over here. And that'll be a nice boost to our gold income, meaning we can maintain a larger military. Now, of course, the concerning thing is our units are missing a +5 combat strength bonus, but we can swap that out in 2 turns. Let's make sure we wipe out that GDR. Promotion available for that bomber, or for the jet fighter rather. Another city is starting to crumble. There we go. Can we take it with the tank? Not with a single attack. What if I were to... No, you can't make it. In terms of culture advancement, I think it is a good idea now to grab like near future governance and head into the future era. Our first nuclear device is completed. Let's get some repairs going in here because having destroyed equipment is not good. More AT crew armies are flowing. And our first mobile SAM is online, and they're not that expensive to upgrade to, but they give you basically immunity to aircraft. And this war machine will begin churning soon. Let's build a stock exchange in Los Angeles. We definitely need the gold now that we have a city state on our side that can help us with that. Let's get the Grove and the Sanctuary in here. We got the Preserve in Boston, Grove and Sanctuary in there as well. We're building those to improve the yields of our empire. Nice, we got modern AT and modern armor, as well as cultural heritage, which means we can now swap out this flex slot of containment, plug in liberalism for a turn. Oh, there was another thing. Maybe forced modernization I could have plugged in there. Let's get this kill on the GDR. Another GDR has fallen. A single bombing run on this city should leave it vulnerable to a double attack from a tank. Boom, there's the tank double attack. We capture the city and we take another promotion on you. We come in here, we repair the outer defenses. We will keep the city, and just for the sake of visibility, I'm going to rebase a jet bomber over here, and now we can begin bombing the city. Okay, may as well unlock computers now, because basically what we're doing is just to try to finish off the tech tree. I do think nuclear fusion is quite a good pick here if we do want to go the thermonuclear bomb route. Watermills completed in here. This city does not have particularly good options when it comes to growth and production and doing all this sort of stuff. So I think your best contribution to my empire will be to slowly build me a nuclear bomb. Philadelphia, I would go as far as to say, is in a pretty good spot. So I'm going to go ahead and get it to start building me nuclear bombs. Supply convoy in Valencia. Let's move that over there. And we're going to start building nuclear bombs en masse. Part of our transition to the next phase of warfare. Now it looks like the city we captured did have the Forbidden Palace in it. So we do have another government policy slot, which is fantastic because we can use this to gain gold. My trade routes are particularly empty, so I'm going to start recruiting traders in the capital in the hope that we can fill those out nice and quick. Move a balloon forward, but all 3 of these are hit by it. And then we'll move them like this, slowly and carefully advance into enemy territory. And now progress is being achieved over here for the first time. All right, let's begin the bombardment of Ankober, getting our troops in range. You step out in front, take out this district. Oh, It's quite expensive. We need to be looking for pillages for gold now, I think, to advance our army. Get a balloon on you. Pelt Ankober. Repair up all this juicy infrastructure. Military Academy in Radom. Let's get that stadium for the AoE amenities. Let's repair the zoo and get the military academy at Portsmouth. When it comes to Cincinnati, we got another AA unit. Let's step forward and pillage as we just so carefully advance on our enemy. All right, nice. We got a jet bomber. We can start pounding that city. 2 more jet bombers to hit the enemy capital city. Oh man, it's so close. We have finally broken the will of our enemies to fight. I don't really care about any of these, so I'm going to say faster nuclear device production, put all my votes into that, climate accords. I'll get this, duplicates of amber. Don't really care about the current government doodly Diplo BS. There's environmentalism. Looks like there's a forest fire on this tile, so let's go ahead and scoot you back to Los Angeles for a heal. We're going to rebase you to St. Louis to heal. We're going to blast Ankober, unlink and shimmy, and then relink to fill the front line. And then we begin the bombardment of Ankober. You took a hit as you were expected to do, which means you come back and heal now. Okay, we do have nuclear fusion now. Let's get to work on just finishing up all of these techs. We don't really care about focusing on any particular one. It doesn't really change the outcome of the game depending on the order that we get them. Repair outer defenses, and then you're going to do me Operation Ivy. It'll take about 10 turns before we're able to make thermonuclears. You could build me a nuclear power plant. If I take a look at the power map mode, most of my empire is powered. There's a few places that aren't quite getting enough power. A nuclear power plant could be handy. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a few repairs and then you'll build me a nuclear power plant to make this part of my empire a little bit more productive. Now you might be wondering, Potato, why aren't you just dropping a nuke on it? It's because I want to save the nuke for when someone's actually threatening a victory, like Tamar over here, who is currently 2 blips away. I can win this war, right, without a nuclear stockpile, and I can win the other wars a lot faster with a nuclear stockpile. So I reckon building up is just a little bit more useful. Looks like Elizabeth has finally died with her city flipping independent. I did lose an AT crew somewhere. I think it was the machine gunner attack over here, which is a little bit concerning. Let's pull you back to a safe distance. So I think the city of Ankober will go this turn. Just a matter of bombarding it effectively down to basically nothing, and then bringing this helicopter over to take it. Boom. And now it's my city. Lovely. Let's go ahead and keep that. Whew. My goodness, 1 hour and 50 minutes into the recording of this video, and we've taken our first Ethiopian city, which was the goal of this episode. It was to conquer Ethiopia. It's surprising, but also not surprising at the same time. Let's get started on the bombardment of Dire Dawa, which is going to be our next city on the chopping block. Is there anything easy I need to research? No, I could backfill for a bunch of these things, but I think we're better off just pushing forward. Being able to produce aluminum out of spaceports could be quite useful. Global coalition makes my unit stronger, considering a lot of my bombardment is done from friendly territory. That could be really useful. So I do like smart power doctrine. I am going to pop in here, drop economic union in favor of fascist legacy for that +5 combat strength and the 15% less war weariness. Should make my life easier. You have a promotion. Let's go ahead and take it. Long range gives you an extra 2 range. It's really nice. Means I have to rebase my aircraft less often. So I trade a turn of inactivity now for potential less turns of inactivity later. We'll go ahead and take close air support on you. I'm wondering if we can take this city. It's hard to tell. Bring this forward and turn it into a modern armor, and it might be able to take the city next turn. Nice, we got the sanctuary in here. Oh, it doesn't apply to the Kapak Nan. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That actually sucks. Go ahead and build me a nuclear device. I got the encampment in Leeds. We'll go ahead and build a stable. Modern AT in London. Let's get another modern AT army. Probably actually nuclear devices, I think. I think we have enough AT armies to sort of sustain a military push. Theatre Square in Cincinnati got repaired. Let's keep repairing our infrastructure. You built another builder in here, which I'm actually okay with. Oh yeah, we got a lot of nuclear weapons coming online. Let's make sure we repair the outer defenses and repair the encampment in here. We've got 12 envoys to play with. It'd be nice to have control of Ethiopia. It does annoy me that I don't get to see like the city-state stuff for whatever reason. Let's trade with Armagh. 12 gold per turn is pretty respectable. I have laid down so much damn railroad. I mean, honestly, look at this. That's an absurd amount of railroad that I've laid down. Action by action, turn by turn. There is satellites, mechanized infantry, solar farms, and the moon landing are now available to us. None of those are particularly useful or interesting for our victory, but we have captured the Cre capital. And in theory, we could turn around now and end the war with the Cre if we just cared about winning the game. Winning the game isn't enough for me. I need to utterly destroy everyone who stood against me, because that's the price you pay for angering me. These guys ruined my fun, tall game where I was just going to be 4 cities and try to do a science victory. No. But they couldn't let that happen. No, could they? No, they had to declare war on me. And so this is what happens. This is what happens when you declare war on me, okay? If you declare war on me, I eradicate you. That's how that works, okay? You don't get to be a cry bully and say, oh, but I just wanted to attack you. No mercy. Zero mercy for the wicked. We will see them punished by the sword. So Dire Dawa is next. Let's begin the bombardment of Dire Dawa. We should see its health crumble pretty quickly now that we have superiority on this front line. All right, we got a bank in Plymouth. Let's go for the stock exchange. Repair the outer defenses in here. Would be nice for the city to grow a little bit better. We are going to repair the outer defenses in here, and we can launch the Earth satellite, which honestly opens up the opportunity to move Carl Sagan over here, although I do need to delete this builder to make room for teleporting Carl Sagan over there. It's just simple. It just saves me a turn if I do it that way. And I don't think builders are super important, but I will actually lay out tile improvements for myself. This land doesn't need to be totally reworked like the previous lands. So where can I airlift you to? Oh, I can airlift from the capital to here, here, and here. Quite handy. So I can airlift a military engineer down there to get a little bit of progress. Oh! AT crew and a machine gun bombarding us, doing some serious damage. All right, +4 error score for fully completing an entertainment complex. We also have access to electricity. Taking a look at here, Radom, you just finished your stadium. You already have gold production. I mean, in theory, you could use the sewer to grow taller. And we definitely need the gold from trading with Armagh, but believe it or not, we are already trading with them. I'm going to just take the suzerainty of Armagh. I will get a stock exchange in Leeds. Let's go ahead and bomb this city once again. A new round of bombing commences, bringing this city down to the point where this modern armor can roll in and capture it. Stock exchange completed in Los Angeles. It'd be nice to get archaeological museums. Those seem kind of fun. Also, the hydroelectric dam for the electricity is pretty cool. Okay, looks like a tornado hit my front line over here, so I'm going to pull these guys back in the hopes that I can preserve their lives. Wounded units retreat. Let's pillage this. That's a nice chunk of gold. And we will commence the blastation of the city of Dire Dawa. Amphitheater completed in Cincinnati. Let's go ahead and continue to repair the infrastructure in here. Mascatu, the first thing you want to do when you conquer a city is you repair the wall so that it's not easily reconquered, and then you want to repair any broken infrastructure to bring the city up to proper yield strength so that it's actually contributing to your empire's capabilities in terms of its economy. Carl Sagan, I'm going to pop him over here and immediately finish the Earth satellite. This will allow me to see everything. Oh my god. The map is basically divided up into 2 halves. The half of me and then the half of the 2 people that are conspiring together to win the game. Tamar needs to be nuked. Okay, Tamar has launched the exoplanet expedition. Now here's a very important question. Can I produce enough nuclear bombs to kill Tamar before she wins the game? That is the fundamental question we have to answer. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very, very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!